Now, in the months leading up to Christmas, many people consider gifting a pet to friends and family. However, the government's concerned about how people go about that responsibly. As a result, a new campaign's been launched called Pet Fished. The government-backed project encourages prospective pet owners to stop and ask who's the person behind the pet. It also warns of sinister pet sellers who breed animals purely for profit, with little concern for their welfare.
Well, Dr. Christine Middlemiss is the UK Chief Veterinary Officer, and it's a great pleasure to say she joins us now. Good morning to you, Christine.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Nice to see you. And this phrase, pet fishing, what does it mean to you?
It means that there are many unscrupulous sellers out there trying to sell puppies and kittens to people, and they haven't been bred properly. There are welfare risks around them. People putting profit over good animal welfare. And so it's really important that if you're thinking of getting a puppy or a kitten, you do your research first. Don't just research the breed you want, research the breeder and the seller.
Christine, good morning to you. I mean, this is something that's very, very, very close to my heart. But how do they research and how do they know how to do that and go about that? Because it is very difficult, and a lot of people I've spoken to, or I've asked them the question, do you know exactly where the pet comes from? They go, well, yeah, I think I do. How do you really know?
Well, first of all, if you put in your search engine, get your pet safely, it will bring up links to advice on how to do that, and that will take you through some of the things that I'm going to say. One of the key things is to put the advert details into a search engine, so the seller's name, their phone number, details, and put it into search engine. And if it comes up that they're advertising lots of different types of puppies or kittens, lots of different ones all year round and things, then there's something going on there, because genuine breeders with their pets don't have lots and lots of litters. They don't have lots and lots of different breeds. So that's the first thing, to do that homework. Then when you found one that you think you can trust, ask them lots and lots of questions. Ask to see the mother and the litter mates. Visit them in the home if you can, or get ongoing videos so you can see them grow and develop. Are they in the same place all the time? Do they look quite comfortable? A good breeder, a good seller, will actually ask you as many questions as you're asking them, because they really care about that, where that puppy or kitten, its future home, and they want to know that you're going to look after it. If they advertise with a passport, be wary. It may well have been an imported puppy, and it may actually be very young. Ask about its health and what checks it's had. Again, reputable sellers will share that with you. They may advise which vet it's been to, and they will be very open and transparent about it. You can also search for Kennel Club registered breeders, and it's now a legal requirement that breeders have a licence. We don't allow third-party sellers anymore, so the person selling that kitten or puppy should be the person that's bred it. They should have a licence number. You can check that out. So lots of different things there. As I said, if you go into the search engine, put "get your pet safely," it will bring up links to all of that advice.
Christine, the trouble is, there is so much money in this, and when we're talking dogs, there seems to be a trend for certain types of dogs, whether at the moment, a Cavapoo or whatever. People are spending a lot of money. They want that type of dog, and sometimes they may not go through that process. Sometimes they'll look at the Kennel Club, and my word, they've been in controversy over the way they've handled the breeding of some types of dogs. It's difficult to know who to trust.
I think it's about building that relationship with that seller over time. So they should start looking for prospective homes when the puppies are quite young, and build that relationship with videos, numerous visits, sending photos of how the puppies are getting on, so you have that confidence. That they'll advise you on who their vet is. You may be able to contact that vet. It's getting all that history and background as much as you can. And if you're worried, go and discuss it with your vet before you spend that money. Because spending, as you say, what can be a large amount of money on an animal that's come from a poor welfare background, may have ongoing health problems, that's going to cost you more money and a huge amount of heartache. You get this lovely puppy, welcome it into your home and your family, it's not well, it can be really, really devastating. So as hard as it might be to wait for a breeder or a seller that you really trust, it is absolutely worth it in the long run.
You're absolutely right there, completely right, that you need to keep speaking to them and communicating with them, and they'll be happy to do that too, won't they? I just wanted to ask you, if someone or a family has visited somewhere for a pet and they are not what they seem and they're concerned about an animal that they were maybe going to take on, or perhaps they're just very concerned about the litter and, as you said, the mum's not around, what should they do? Who should they report that information to? Because it's about stamping this out as well, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And the more we purchase these puppies and the more it drives the trade.
Exactly.
Report it to the local trading standards. They're very aware of this ongoing campaign. They're very aware of the issues. And they will ask for further details. Well, I've heard stories of people renting houses for the weekend, taking the puppies there and looking as though that's their home. On a one-off, it might look quite viable and proper. That's why this building relationships and ongoing checking and ongoing relationship is really important.
Buy a puppy that does end up with problems, the cost. The vet bills are horrendous.
Well, they can be very large. The kind of treatment that vets can give now is very comprehensive, and that's why you can, it can mount up in money terms. It's always important to think about insuring your pet or how you will pay future treatment. But absolutely, if you're getting a puppy that's had a poor upbringing in those very early weeks of life and is poor welfare, it is going to have more issues. And you're building up that cost just by purchasing it. So do go and search, get your pet safely. Lots of advice there.
Especially as we come up to Christmas, which is always a frightening time, isn't it? For I'm sure you, Christine, thinking about people.
Does our chief veterinary officer have a pet herself?
I have a rescue cat that I got last year. He's actually very old and he has some health problems himself. His owner died, sadly, and through a vet that I know, he came to live with me.
Lovely.
And he's quite upset this morning because doing this has upset his routine.
Oh.
He's not so happy.
Christine,
we get that a lot.
It's upset mine, Christine.
We do get that a lot, don't we, actually?
What? Cats watching?
We've done
get
quite
lots
a few
of pictures
interviews.
of people showing their cats watching Kirsty.
No, the fact, animals like we had Candice on the other day, and her dog was quite aggrieved that he wasn't being fed at that exact time.
Yes.
So, honestly, brilliant. It's so good to have you on and to speak to you.
No, you're very welcome.
Middlemiss.
Sorry to disturb your cat's routine.
Yeah, you can go back and sort that. Thank you so much, and great advice as well.